Geocache talk, a voice on the line I hear, coming through Geocache talk.
Have you subscribed to FTF Magazine yet? FTF Magazine is the #1 geocaching magazine available. It is a quarterly magazine that you can be part of. Subscribing is easy. Just visit FTF's website, ftfgeo.com. Don't miss out and subscribe today.
Announcing the Cache Odyssey Geocoin, a tribute to exploration, accessibility, and the journey we share as a global geocaching community. Each coin represents your support and participation in the Cache Odyssey project and Geo Tours, a nationwide effort to create handicap-accessible geocaches and ensure that everyone can experience the joy of the hunt. With stunning artwork, the Cache Odyssey Geocoin captures both the spirit of geocaching and the heart of the Geocache Talk network. Whether you're adding it to your personal collection or gifting it to a fellow geocacher, this coin is more than just metal. It's a symbol of unity, inclusion, and adventure. And at just $20 each, it's an affordable way to both celebrate your passion and support the future of accessible caching. Don't wait. Supplies are limited. Grab yours today in the Geocache Talk shop and carry a piece of the Cache Odyssey with you wherever your adventures take you.
Howdy. How are you guys doing?
That was kind of abrupt.
Sorry about that. I'm trying to go between browsers, but I think we're good. All right, let me get this started up. All right. Let's do this. All right. We're having browser issues tonight. Big thanks to our new patrons. We have no new patrons. We'd love to have you as a patron. As little as $3 a month would really help us pay bills because we get lots of bills. Our featured patrons from the states, provinces, countries that start with the letter M is Doug, Ken, Nels, Barbara, Beth, Neil, Peter, Jane, Michelle, Robert, Joy, David, Tabitha, and Willie. Thank you to all our patrons for keeping this show and all our shows on the air. There you go. Exit solo mode. Gentlemen, how are you doing?
I am doing awesome, Gary and Jesse. I just want to share with you guys. It's almost like the Western New York weather lotto. It's like our next 5 days, believe it or not, guys. Like even the lows are above freezing.
No way.
It's like amazing. It was like tropical. It was like 38, like around like 40 degrees here today. Like people were wearing shorts. Like snow was actually melting. Incredible, my friends.
Yeah, we just got back in the country and our weather was like 83, which is a huge change from like 81, like it's been at home. So, I mean, that's a swing we've had too. So
crazy.
We had that 2-degree swing. It was way warmer than home, at least 2 degrees warmer.
Yeah, I was gonna say Tony says like summertime. Yeah, Tony, totally like
that's
summertime.
Right.
Summertime. I don't know. Is it ever summertime in Fredonia? I don't know.
Yeah, you know that it is. And guys, we have Nels joining us from the future, just in case you were wondering.
Oh my gosh.
Oh wow. Where is he?
He is in what did you I think he said good morning from the Taipei airport in Taiwan.
Wow.
Oh, Taiwan.
Yeah,
that is cool.
That's awesome.
Wow. Dang. That's awesome.
Hopefully he's getting maybe a virtual while he's there.
Ooh.
Oh, I bet.
How sweet would it be to be in another country like that and get like FTF on a virtual?
Oh yeah.
Now make sure
Just
you don't
FTF on a virtual alone is kind of hard. I mean, it's obviously less rare now than it would have been in the past, but that's pretty sweet. I don't think I've ever had FTF on a virtual.
Oh yeah. He goes, he did. Wow. Congrats, Nels. That's awesome.
Don't ask him to do an adventure lab because he will not do an adventure lab. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. I know him.
Yeah. Who would want a geocache that doesn't have a container? Nobody would get one of those.
Who would ever want that? Ironically,
Yeah, you're tuned into the right show to talk about that for sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was wondering what we're talking about tonight.
What timing. All right, let's do some. You want to do some twig?
Yeah,
let's do it.
This week in geocaching. I'll go. Mine was short. John's, you have quite a bit, so I'll go. I'll be quick. Two things. One is did a geo art yesterday, and it was very well done. It had where I goes in it. Jesse, how about that?
Nice.
Huh?
And they worked. That's good.
Well, they reverse where I go. So.
Yes, Gary. Oh my God!
You complain about Adventure Labs, and then they go do reverse where it goes.
Wait, you're saying the best kind of where it goes? Why would anybody complain about that?
Please tell me it wasn't the ones where you put the 4 numbers in. You know, like you don't even have to go do it. You just look it up online.
No, there was containers out there. It was well done, but
sure.
But there was just a couple. There was just a couple where it goes, but the traditionals were great. The puzzles were really hard, but I didn't do it myself. I had a team. We had a team that did them together. So
bogus finds,
that's for another show. But
so anybody who owns those that you just talked about this last week, go and check and see if Gary found your caches. He did not solve the puzzle, so go delete those logs. Just gonna throw that out there. You just admitted it live, so they can do it now.
Yeah. So, but as a team, we did sit and we did the lab, or not the labs. We did the puzzles. And we actually went out and signed all the logs. So we signed as a team. So
that's pretty standard fare. Yeah.
Probably not.
Tony has a theory here, Gary, that you were really the getaway driver. That's
the getaway driver.
There you go.
I did drive quite a bit of that route, but they're all signed. It was great. There was some events in the area as well, so we had some local folks that came to the events, and that was fun, and a lot of good discussion. And anyway, so that was fun. One other item is, and I want to bring it up for folks, is we're trying to set up. Well, it's set up, but we're hoping people will do this. If you ever shop on this thing called Amazon, I don't know if anybody's familiar with Amazon. Amazon's a link you can go to, and you can shop there and buy stuff. But if you do it, if you use this link, and I've got it there, and I've got it also in the show notes, but if you go to Amazon.com/shop/geocache talk network, all one word in there, then it'll bring up, and you can shop to your heart's delight, buy lots of stuff on Amazon, and we get a tiny commission off of those. But every little bit helps. We could use that. We haven't had any new patrons recently, so we would like to continue to pay bills, and it would be nice.
Yes.
And so it doesn't cost anything to use this link, but it doesn't cost you any more to use this link, just FYI. But we do get a small, hopefully larger than, I think it's pretty small, but if everybody uses it, I think it'll be good.
Yeah.
So there you go. Amazon.com/shop/geocache talk network. And we get a little commission off of that. So thank you so much, everyone, for participating and using that link. And you'll see, it'll say Geocache Talk Network on us too. So, all right, there you go. So, John or Jesse, over to you guys.
I'll take it. I know Jesse has some that would be a great closing material for Twig. But I just wanted to respond. We had our show, before, like, I can't remember how many shows back, and Jesse challenged me to do 3 CETOs this year, right?
Right.
And I'm happy to say, guys, I got my first CETO scheduled.
Awesome.
Yeah. So it's cool. It's on April 25th. It's on Celebrate Trails Day. So believe it or not, I registered the event with the Rails to Trails Conservancy, so it'll appear in their listing. They'll send
wow.
some swag on there as well too. So if anybody wants to come, feel free to. It'd be awesome. I'll put the GC code in the chat. And on this one, it's near a pretty cool site. It's near the site of the 1872 Christmas Eve train wreck.
Wow.
Which is an event that draws people's interest from all across the country, believe it or not. And I got to be honest, guys, I did not get a virtual this time, but if somebody has a virtual that they're not sure, maybe they don't want, maybe I could use one at the site of the 1872 Christmas Eve train wreck. Just saying.
Yeah, send it to John at memphismafia@gmail.com.
No,
I'll take care of it for you.
Yeah.
At the Pizza
right?
Ninja GC at gmail.com. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now we've seen the stats somewhere, haven't we? Before they've talked about how many of those go unused.
Yeah,
Oh,
every
no.
year, I guess, like there's some that just like don't go like used.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a public stat or we heard that behind the scenes somewhere, but I heard it somewhere that every time they release one, like not a large portion of them, larger than you would think,
Right.
go unused, which is just shocking to me.
Yeah, it's tragic.
Yeah, I mean that just blows my mind. I mean, but at the same time, some people don't really hide caches. They don't know how to publish caches.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I think if anybody were to approach any of us, we'd be happy to show people how to use those.
Oh, absolutely.
God,
how
yeah.
to
We should do a
publish
show
those.
on that sometime.
Yeah,
Wait, we can
Yeah.
do a show on that real soon.
yeah. And Bal, are you saying for yours you're starting the bidding at $200?
Look at that.
$200. Well,
Dude,
yeah,
that's-
that'd be great.
Yeah.
That's a little steep. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd have to see the exchange rate in pizza for that one, to be honest. But
That's right.
yeah. But guys, I got some other big news too on here. So I
Okay.
got my Cedo published.
Nice.
I got a new Earth cache published too.
Nice.
And I
Wow.
published it actually like right near the spot of where the Cedo is going to take place.
Dang. Good job.
And I just got to give a shout out to like my like reviewer, GeoAware USA 10. I submitted that cache and he published it right on the same day, just I think like hours after I submitted
Holy
it.
cow.
You've been getting some good luck on that.
Yeah, I'm like thinking like I got the best GeoAware, like GeoAware USA 10, whoever they are, just shout
There
out
aren't
to
many.
them.
Yeah, there aren't many of those.
Yeah.
I've heard
Wow.
people waiting months to get their.
How many is that for you, John? You've been kind of cranking them out.
Yeah, it's my first one of this year, and I gotta check. Because last year I think like maybe like Earth caches were my most hidden, I think.
Wow.
I gotta double check.
That's excellent, though.
Yeah. Yeah, because last year what did I had? I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, 5. Okay. So I got 5 last year published.
Nice.
Earth cache wise. So yeah.
Cranking them out. I like it.
I know. Making progress because now I can check that off Earth cache bingo. So
That's true.
That's right. That's the center square, right?
yeah, absolutely. So yeah,
Very
so
cool.
pretty cool on that one. But yeah, just some
And
other
Cedo
news.
too. So that's huge. I mean, you're doing events anyway, but Cedo is and even bigger. It's more to organize.
Yeah, so I'm pretty happy, and I'm going to talk a little bit more too about Adventure Labs, because it's one of those things I'm trying to do, and I'm hoping to publish this with the Cedo, but if some get done beforehand, that's okay. So originally I was thinking about doing some like Adventure Lab art, and then I was, just to be honest, guys, I'm kind of like thinking like at this time it almost seems like there's so many in the works that I don't think I want to do an Adventure Lab art, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of them out there. There's a lot.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think. I think I want to do like one trail of Adventure Lab educational, like outdoor educational related items. So on here, like I'm just thinking like, stuff like animal tracks, conservation, geological history.
I like
talk
that.
about, different types of birds, plants, trees, trail activities, kind of the whole gamut, So onto that one, I'm actually kind of thinking on here too, like when I do this, maybe for this like style, maybe putting in a minimum distance, like 0.1 miles between Adventure Lab stage.
I like it.
So just like one, you can't park on your car to get all of those. You have to like go down the trail.
Yeah.
And it's like education related. So
and like actually answer a question, not just guess through.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm thinking like some could be multiple choice. So if you had like a picture, right? And if it was like, what kind of tree is this? You know, I mean, maybe that would be okay, like multiple choice wise.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking like maybe if like each one out of the series has one where it's short answer, non multiple choice, you know, so kind of braces like, you know, different kind of like approaches, you know, different educational materials, and you know, makes people work for the fine too, you know, because if you have to like hike 0.1 miles to the next one,
right?
I think you're earning it a little bit more than just a parking lot. Just saying.
Sure.
Yeah,
but it's not a real cache anyway, so it doesn't matter, right? It's not even.
Oh man, it sure is. And yeah, Renee Trail Snail 51, love the environmental education idea. Yeah, thank you, Renee, because I think that's the thing. It's like with all the arts out here right now, I think a lot of people aren't really seeing the full opportunity of Adventure Labs. And yes, I said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they can't all be in a parking lot.
No, and there's nothing wrong with those. Do whatever you want to do with them, right?
Yeah.
But you want variety. You don't want all the same of any type of cache. You want it to be different. At least I do. I
agree.
And just like we're talking about stuff tonight, like, well, I'll get into it in my twig, but like you want to have different things to do.
Yeah. Well, and I think now that I see here, like, you know, he gives an emoji that is not a happy camper. Just saying.
He hates Adventure Labs.
And I can see that because I mean, you know, it's just they've been used in different ways, man. So I think there's a better way different way. So that's what I'm trying to do here. But you know, long story short, if anybody wants to, you know, be part of this, let me know. You know, feel free to email me at thepizzaninjagc@gmail.com, and I'll provide you with details on here. But you know, I think it could be a lot of fun and a lot of cool experience. So, you know, just wanted to talk about that and wanted to give a quick shout out to a few people too. Fishing Gal, she had an awesome event, a February meetup event. Little Tracks Lender 813 and Deadliest Cachers were there, and that was really cool. I also wanted to give a shout out for an adventure lab, a fun adventure lab, to Purple Hawks, where she did one Believable Bill's purple backed thornbill. And she had some awesome, there were some multiple choice answers, but they were awesome and they were funny and they were well done. So I got to give her a shout out on there too. And just a few other quick shout outs I got to give to is Tamara Burger in the pizza world. She had a great comment on our Facebook post. And she said she had the best Valentine's Day ever because it involved pizza and a cache. So awesome to get those comments. And we always appreciate everybody's comments on social media. And a few other ones I just want to give some love to on this one is in the pizza fans group on Lilypad chat. Bloody Cool shared some of his pizza that he had as well too. That looked awesome. And so did Nicole B. Genius. So yeah, so many great things going on, guys. But anyway, I'll toss it over to Jesse because I want to hear about your caching.
Yeah, he had a big twig.
So yeah, it's kind of we're in just like we talked about the different style of caching. It's at the beginning of the year, and just like we talked about, you know, you're going to do 3 CETOs this year. I set some kind of different goals for us at the beginning of the year, and we're still sticking to it. So we've done it so far. We're in the middle of February now, and only one day have I found a cache that had an actual container for the whole year so far. There's a hiking trail near me, and I keep going back to those. So I'm going to hit those no matter what my goals are, right? I love the hiking, and that's just some hiking trails. So we've been doing, Christy really loves Adventure Labs. I know some people hate that. We've been doing virtuals and earth caches this year and events. We're going to break our thing already, but like I wasn't going to hide a bunch this year. I was going to hide certain types of whatever this year, but I did notice that we're approaching our 500th cache hide. So we're at like 498, and I've had a challenge kind of in my head for a while for my 500th cache. So I'm probably going to have to put out some challenges. And then I mentioned that, and somebody else locally, he's usually in the chat room, but I'm not going to say who it is. We've kind of been talking about, you know, there's a couple of challenges I've been wanting to do too. Maybe we should put a couple of them out. Now, this is not a 5 million cache trail thing that we're talking about. We're talking about just putting out a few cool, challenges in the area or whatever. So I got to do something cool for my 500th hide. So we got to do that coming up. So we do have our monthly event coming up too. We're keeping that streak going. That's coming up. And so this last week, long story short, because I'm a teacher now, I would normally be taking a vacation in February.
No,
but
right.
we talked about it last year. My daughter went off to college. We had booked like a surprise kind of, she kind of knew about it, but a trip for her for the summertime. But it turned out she had to start college during the summertime from when she applied or whatever. So she could not, no matter what, go on this trip. So we're like, okay, we'll just move it or cancel it or whatever. Well, turns out we had booked into a cheaper rate on this one. We're trying to find a deal or whatever on this one, and you could not get a refund on it.
Right.
We're like, okay. So, and this is like a year ago. We're like, okay, how far can we push it out? So we pushed it all the way out to February of now and got, we got the money credit. We got it moved over, right? Like to this one or whatever. So we're like, I can't take off in February to go on a cruise, but I don't want to lose that money. So like, okay. So we ended up going on a cruise in February. So I just got back today, in fact, which is a real weird time. Like both for my students and my fellow teachers and everything else. I'm like, they're like, you're taking a vacation in February? I'm like, yeah, man, it is what it is. I got to. I can't lose the money. I can't afford to lose that kind of money, because we'd already paid the big deposit or whatever on it. And we paid we paid for the whole thing because we'd saved up and paid for it. So we're like, well, I can't lose that money. And so anyway, so that's that. I don't know how short that story was, but it's a shorter version than the real long story. But anyway, so we just got back from Aruba and Curacao, and it was awesome. It was so awesome. We also still kept with our current streak of finding virtuals. We found a webcam too, and so those count too, and earth caches. So that's all we found while we were down there. And we didn't find a lot because we were just it wasn't a caching vacation. It was a fun vacation. It was just Christy and I, so we got to hang out at the beach and ride ATVs and do all that fun stuff or whatever. But it was awesome, and it just got me super pumped for June coming up too because And now, granted, this comes to no shock to anybody, but I run my mouth and talk to people constantly, right? So by the end of the ninth, we knew everybody on that boat. We were talking to people. We couldn't go anywhere we didn't know. And people were so friendly because you're on vacation, right? And it was kind of like this in that it wasn't just people from Florida, although there were people from Florida. It was people from the UK and Canada and Norway. And it's just like a big, huge melting pot or whatever. And like we talk about, what are you going to do? One of the common things you hear on a cruise is, what are you going to do when we get to the port? Because everybody's got their own little things they want to go do, right? Yeah. Like in Curacao, there's the only bridge in the world. It's a floating bridge that moves to let boats through, but you can be on it while it does it.
Oh, that's cool.
And the area that it's in, and I'll put some pictures and I'll show them at another time. And, we don't want to get too far off or whatever, but it was a virtual on this bridge, and you got to get a picture of yourself on the bridge. And you kind of don't know when it's going to move, but the area it's in was modeled after Amsterdam. So the beautiful, colorful buildings that are down both sides. So it looked like, because the people, it's connected. There's a long history to it. We'll get into it, but it was awesome. And there was just it was such a good time. But people would be like, what are you going to do when you get into it? And I was like, well, obviously I was like, you know what? We're going geocaching. And I would just wait, and they'd be like, I'd be like, it's a scavenger hunt. They're like, oh, I know what you're talking about. And I probably talked to 50 people about geocaching in this last week or whatever that had kind of heard about it, but didn't. And I was like, wherever you're from, they're there. Go, go check it out. And they're there. And so I can't imagine how much fun we're going to have for 14 days, right? Like, and a huge group and everything else. But so in Aruba and Curacao, the caches were great. We met a lot of great people. And cruise caching is definitely different. We talked about it before, right? Like, you have to be prepared, but then also flexible. Yeah. Like, I had huge plans to go to this one cave, and you think everything is accessible. It's just a little bitty island. I saw it on the map. It's a little bitty island. Yeah. Why can't it was like 5 hours away. And it was like, because you have to go through the wilderness. You can't just go. It wasn't near the city. So it was like you really have to be flexible with geocaching. This whole idea and plan that I had, we get off the boat, talk to somebody, immediately out the window. I'm like, oh, okay, let's come up with something else on the fly. But it was a lot of fun. We and we got our 400th. We logged our 400th virtual while we were down in the Caribbean. So
awesome.
it was pretty awesome and kind of related to the show tonight.
Congratulations.
But and really cool ones. And it was a great, weird time to go on a vacation in the middle of the school year for any teacher, right? But it was a great vacation. Friendly people. Everybody's happy on the cruise, and you get to really not sell geocaching, but you get to really tell people about geocaching, and people want to talk about it and everything else. So it got me really pumped for our cruise coming up and this show, because we got our 400. I didn't know we were going to be on our 400th virtual, and then after we logged a couple, we're like, oh man, look, that's perfect timing. So it's celebrating that milestone. And might have spotted a few locations that really, really need earth caches in 2 new countries. So potentially I'll have those. I'll have to get to publish those for part of our goals for this year too. So it's been a great week for geocaching for us. So week and a day, I guess. So yeah, you don't always get to report on a cruise for the Twig, but this week was
that's true. You don't get that.
It was awesome. Yeah.
It sounds like a blast.
The funny thing is we didn't even find tons, but we found ones that are just amazing, right? Like that bridge one. And I'll show the pictures at some point, but it just, obviously it was a foreign country, but it seemed like a whole different world that you were in. It's such a different terrain, and I like it. I can continue this streak for a while. We'll see what happens. I know I'm going to break it eventually, but we're finding 99% of these other type of caches because it's something different to do for this year, right? I really got motivated with that. We were talking about at the beginning of the year, we want to do something totally different this year, and we'll see how it goes. It's only February, so I'm not going to get ahead of myself, but we've been able to do quite a bit. No, when we come up, if I find a cache, it's any type of cache, I'm getting it, right? If I get an opportunity, because we go to a museum, there's a traditional outside, boom, grabbing it. But
gotta grab it. Right
now, I've only been seeking out totally different ones, and it's still part of our slow down, right? We've really slowed down, take our time. I think we've only found a certain number of caches this year. I don't know exactly how many it is. It's less than normal, but every log that I find, every cache that I find, or every log that I write for every cache that I find I'm taking my time and writing it. It's not just hey, I found it, it's in great shape, move on. And I've really enjoyed giving back to that cache owner, some people have given back to us or whatever. And hopefully that's making a difference. I really love it. We're really focusing on that cache quality this year, the cache log quality this year.
I just thought maybe a unique factor we should put on our list for Europe is I've heard this kind of the cache hide is very rare in Europe, maybe more plentiful in the States, but getting a European LPC I've heard is quite rare. I don't know if you guys have heard how rare that is as well too.
Yeah, they don't always have them.
Yeah.
It's funny what's rare. There was a UK guy that I talked to several times on the ship. His name was Mike. Hey, Mike, in case you listen to the show. He was getting off and then going, because it costs so much to fly over here, right? A lot of people that fly over, they go ahead and do a back-to-back, or they do a 14-day or whatever. So he was there with his family. They were getting off this morning, and they had to be off, and then they were going to come back on the ship after 4 hours where they had to reset the ship. They only have 4 or 5 hours off the ship in the U.S. Where do you think they're going? They're in Miami now. They're in Miami.
If you're bringing up the story, my bet is Taco Bell. No,
but that would be awesome. That would be a great show. It's not. They were super excited. The whole family was super excited to go to Walmart.
Really?
Because they don't have Walmart. And all they see on TV, they see commercials about Walmart and stories about Walmart. And they were like, we're going to go to Walmart and see what all's there. They're like, we heard you can buy toilet paper and machine guns. We got to go see what this is about. I'm like, okay, man.
That's crazy.
That's American experience right there,
but,
right?
So no, it's cool. The LPC or whatever, the rare thing that they have that's just abundant here would be funny. Yeah. So we got months to do it, but I love the research that we're gonna be able to do and just really experience. It renewed my caching excitement. This week did. I didn't even find tons, but it just other people and people around, stuff like that, and just in a totally different environment. I'm jazzed about caching. I was kind of hitting a slump towards the end of last year, and now we're through the roof. So
that's awesome.
I'm loving it. Yeah.
Well, this should be interesting discussion because obviously everybody was psyched and everybody wanted a virtual, or at least everybody
Mm-hmm.
we know wanted a virtual. Everybody I know wants a virtual.
Well, and apparently Bell on the Move still says the bidding is at $200 for his virtual.
$200. Okay.
So I don't know if that's increased. Bell can update us if that's the case.
Yeah. It's going up.
Off his one, but the thing about it is, and this is something that we're going to talk about tonight, is what to do with it. Because I think we all have seen virtuals, and we will, trust me, I know you guys, you're going to log it anyway. But we've all logged a virtual and go, really?
Oh, yes.
They put a virtual?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, why put a virtual here? Trust me, I'll still log it. But I think that some people don't. I think people, I wouldn't say panic, but I think that they're like, oh, this location is famous in our town, and we'll put a virtual there. It's like, is that really the best way to do that? I mean, so you guys came up with some great ideas, and we're going to talk about them and kind of. I have some, but you guys have a lot of great ones. So let's dive into those, and we'll kind of determine together whether we think these are, something to think about for everyone to kind of ponder a different way to approach it, I guess is what I'm saying.
Before we jump in, I want to say one thing in general about them, about publishing any cache.
Right.
Let's say that you are not a very techie person. Talk to somebody, right? Like if you're struggling with putting the cache page together, there's 3 million caches out there. There's people that will help you with it. Even if you have an awesome idea, we're talking about some awesome ideas a little bit. Even if you have an awesome idea, nobody wants to see just a square block of text. That takes away from whatever cool idea you have. I mean, it doesn't take anything to like arrange. You don't have to have like cool graphics and everything. That's not all. No, that's great, bells and whistles and stuff. But like a square block of text, it's just this big long thing.
Yep.
That turns people off immediately. So take a little time, even if you have the best idea. We're going to come up with some fun ones tonight that may or may not be legal. But we're not reviewers. We don't even play one on TV. We're just podcasters that love geocaching, right? But
that's right.
Like, take a little time, look at your cache page, maybe show it to somebody else, because there's no restrictions on how to put together a cache page and make it look good. Right. And there's many reasons to do this. Colors make a big difference to some people. Some people have trouble reading like text like that. It actually is hard for some people. Plus, it's just boring and crap. If this is the one and only virtual you get, and somebody looks on that cache page and they go, "This sucks, I'm moving on," you've lost a lot out of that. Yeah. So that applies to other things too, earth caches and every other cache, right? And traditional caches, but just think about that. Now, whatever cool your idea you have, think about the presentation also. I just want to throw that in there before we started, and I won't even call out which ones because I know exactly which ones I'm talking about. But we're not going to call any of them out tonight because that's not what we're doing. Maybe on a private show we'll do that, but not tonight.
Yeah,
we're Jesse Shames Virtuals, the Geocache Talk private show, patrons only.
You know what I'm talking about too, though, man. I'm not even going to mention one now, but I got one in my head that like you get the snark on the page too, and you're like, are you chastising me? I'm trying to find your cache. Like I haven't even done anything yet, and they get this attitude about stuff, and you're like, dude, what is going on? I don't understand. That just turns so many people off. That's not a good representation of the game. Yeah. But that applies to every cache. Let's get into the fun stuff.
Well, but I got to say something on what you said. Okay, it's like nowadays though on virtuals, because if it was like back in the day with virtual rewards, like when they first came out, you see it pop up. You're hitting as many of those that you can. No question. It's like regardless what that description is, regardless where it is, if you're anywhere close to it, you're going there. Now where we are with like virtual rewards, like 5.0, right? It's just there's so many more virtuals out there. So I mean, I just got to say it. It's like just because you have a virtual doesn't mean it's going to draw the people as the older virtuals did. You know, so I
That is
think
true.
to your
That is true.
point, Jesse, I mean, like when I was thinking about this, I was like, you got to do a write up that basically, if people were to look at that write up of your
I
cache,
agree.
they would say, would I want to drive maybe 30 minutes, 60 minutes, maybe an hour or two to get this?
Mhm.
So I think the pressure's on to write a good description in place, you know?
I'm gonna take
Because
it even
like I said,
further
they
than
just
that.
don't draw like the older ones when they start to do virtual rewards.
Yeah. I'm gonna take it even further. If we want virtuals to continue to be a thing, virtual rewards, if we start having people doing, this is the Walmart where I met my first wife or whatever, they're not. Why would they keep putting those virtual rewards out there? People are making crappy caches.
They're making
And most of the virtuals I see are pretty decent, right? But if we have low quality crap, why would we continue this experiment? Now, that's not what they said. That's not HQ, disclaimer, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm just saying that from my perspective. If I started putting those out again and they're supposed to be like a rare commodity and people are putting crappy ones out, I'd be like, experiment's over. It didn't work. So,
I agree 100%. I mean, what Gary said, waymarking, because it's like waymarking. How many McDonald's were there in waymarking? You know?
That's a category, isn't it? I think McDonald's is a category in waymarking.
I think it was, but I mean, but I got to say on this one though, okay, you got to find something unique if you want a virtual. You cannot just do like this is like Tampa Bay McDonald's number 4, you know, on this one.
Yes, I agree with you.
You know,
unique is important.
Yeah, I mean, you got to deliver it to some unique location.
Yeah, real quick note, by the way, too, and just a reminder, please be active in the chat room. We star items. Bill on the Move has a really good one. Some other people. We'll get to your we call them starred. We put a little star by them and it puts in a starred area. So, but don't think we're ignoring you. We love the comments. We read all the comments. So if you have an idea and we're like, hey, why aren't the guys talking about my idea? I just mentioned it. Why aren't they talking about it? Trust us, we're going to get to it. So put your comments in there and we will get to them very soon. Thank you so much. See, Birkenstock report knows. We're on top of it. Thank you very much. All right, back to the show.
Do you want to keep going, John? You got some good general guidelines, I think, and then we get more specific about ideas too.
Let's go. I think digging into a unique location. I mean, I got to put out something in here, okay? Because I mean, like, number one, if you're placing a virtual there, you got to look for a reason, okay? Why a physical cache could not be placed there, and why a virtual makes more sense. You know, because if it's like one of those things where somebody could just like even like just place something easy there, maybe it doesn't make sense for virtual guys, you know. But I think getting back to the unique thing too, asking like, what is rare about this spot? You know, because you know, just thinking like, is it a local secret, like begging to be shared, where everybody kind of like local knows it? Maybe tourists don't know about it, or tourists maybe they go there. But you know, just kind of thinking like why don't more people know about this? Like, have you ever heard about that? Like when you're caching at a location,
yes,
and you say like, why don't more people know about the spot? Why didn't I know about this spot?
That is a winner. That is a guaranteed favorite point right there.
Yeah.
If you're putting one of those out and you take somebody to a spot like that and you're like, I never knew this, and I probably never would have known this. To me, that's boom, a favorite point. That's just you're just throwing out the favorite points.
I have a perfect example of that.
Okay, what you got?
Somebody put out a virtual. It's in Memphis, and it's at Johnny Cash. It's about Johnny Cash, and I think that it's so unique. The guy really knew what he was. Well, I don't know if he knew what he was doing, but
well, he Googled it.
It
was really just a lab, and he messed up.
No, you know, Gary's referring to a cache I have, right?
Yeah.
And I got a virtual when we first had Cache Fest in Memphis. You know, I was like, okay, I'm going to put this in Memphis, and I was thinking about unique locations in Memphis, and I got to give a shout out to Derek Baker on this one. Because you know, I was talking with Derek, and Derek was like, hey, there's this really cool spot, right? And I'm like, okay, let's like what is this really cool spot? And he goes, you know Johnny Cash? And it's like, yeah. He goes, this is the spot where Johnny Cash first performed. And it's like, okay, check one box. Pretty cool, right?
Yes, yes.
And then he's like, and there's a statue there of Johnny Cash. And it's like, okay, checks another box, you know, right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool, you know, on there too. Like just thinking of the photo ops, and there's some really cool historical signs there too. And a lot of people don't know that it's there, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
And that really cool one. So to me, like we're talking about it, and it's like checking all these boxes, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God. Yeah, we got to put one there. No question.
That's
No
a great-
question. You know?
But I think what you did that was good is you gave additional information, right? Like,
Yes.
I think people don't put all the pieces together always. So good location, historical is awesome, right? Or just interesting fact is cool, right? Like, there's one that's like the first college football game, or what history that you wouldn't know, but don't just where people fail. I think they so close. They got two of the elements there. Is they'll go and all they'll do is look at that sign and use the information off that sign.
Yes.
No, do a little research.
Yes.
Bring in additional facts that you can't get by walking, or you didn't add anything to the spot. Now you got two of them, but put three together, and I'll even throw this out there. This is why I was going to ask this question. Do you think it's better if you only could ever have one virtual cache?
Oh wow!
Now we know we all want tons, right? But
Sure.
let's say for the sake of argument, they're only going to let people get one, right? That's your one and only representation of you, that virtual cache. Almost like if you've been a premium member for 5 years, you get a virtual cache or whatever, and you meet some criteria. That's the only one you'll ever get. You want to make that thing amazing, right?
Absolutely.
Like, you don't want people to go, remember that sucky virtual we did the other day? And they're like, oh, yeah, that's Frank's. No, nobody wants that, right?
Right.
Nobody wants to be known as the worst virtual in Florida, or whatever.
Right.
And if that's you, that's your only virtual. So I love don't get me wrong, I would take 10 right now. 100% take 10 right now. But if you only get one, maybe the theory holds, it'll be awesome.
Yeah.
So if you're only going to get one, and you might only get it, put all the elements together. Make it that one that people talk about, right? Like, is your cache one that people are going to talk about? Don't just do the bare minimum. And I think that's what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Walk up there, you go to the thing, you read a sign. Cool, that's great. The sign was already there, though. You didn't put the sign up. What else can you teach me about this? Something to walk away and go, oh my gosh, that's crazy. And I think that's what you did. You did a good job. But you see so many of those that go so close, and then they're like, oh, you fell short. This could have been such an amazing one.
Well, and I think that's one of those things, because I think you got to make it meaningful, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, it has to be meaningful to you. It has to be meaningful for others, because if people have that connection, like on that Johnny Cash one, The Origins of the Man in Black is what I called it. So many people were like, oh my God, I've been a Johnny Cash fan forever. This was so cool to come to the location, And I think, I mean, just tying in with that cool story, checking some other boxes, like providing context people wouldn't know otherwise, definitely connecting a location to something bigger, I think is a key. But, I mean, also highlighting something that's overlooked or unknown, for people. I think if you could do that with a virtual, at least to me, guys, I mean, that's big, I appreciate that.
And I think virtuals, you have a little leeway with it, right? Because it's not just a container. And nothing against all the other cache stuff. We're just talking about virtuals tonight. But like the one I mentioned at the beginning of the show, the one on that bridge, Christy watched like multiple videos about this location before we went. Now, we only really knew about it because we were traveling there and there was a virtual there and everything else we kind of found out about. We were excited to go to this location. It was something fun to do at the location. Right. So historical, you walk away talking about it like you've won. You've made an awesome cache. And whether you're a favorite point hound or not, I mean, if you get somebody to walk away from it and go and tell somebody about it, whether it's geocache or not, the location, you've hit the nail on the head. You've nailed that one.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep. And do you guys think too, I think people shy away from doing some, because if you go to the location, and there's a couple of these in Texas that I've been to, and you're like, you pull up and you're like, this is it?
Oh, yeah. We've seen those.
There's nothing flashy about it. There's no sign. I've seen these, and we've all done, hopefully we've done these, but but you start to read, and again, cache page, and we got to talk about the cache page again, but the cache page is very well laid out. And they say, okay,
Yep.
you need to go forward to this spot. And if you stay in this location, here's what you will see. And you're like, okay, there's part of a building here still. And so you kind of match up, okay, I'm at the virtual, and they go, here's what's going on. And they tell you the story of what was there, but what's left is what's left. And you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is the location where
Yes.
Buddy Holly lived, and this is
Oh
his
my
old
God.
house, or whatever it was. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but you get the idea. You're like, oh wow. And there's you look around, you're like, nobody is celebrating this location except for geocaching. It's one of those locations, like
Yeah.
you said, Jesse, where you go there and you would never have known about it unless somebody put a virtual there.
We've done some plane crashes in the mountains in Colorado and out west that were kind of like that. Like there's no signs, there's nothing. But when we got there, there was like a jet engine on the side of the mountain. It was still there because, I mean, it's kind of hard to get those down, right?
Right.
And it was a plane crash. And if you research it, you can find out about the plane crash. But there was a virtual there, and like you had to hike out, and I don't know that I would have ever come across that ever. I mean, there's obviously vast open space out there, right? And when you read about it, like it's amazing. There's no historical marker. It's just what's left over. And if you didn't know, you really wouldn't know. And yeah, those can be amazing, I think, because you learn something and you're like, I'm standing where that happened. That's pretty crazy, right?
Yeah.
And
so
just a little extra research is all it's needed.
Yes, that's
people need to
and
take a little extra time.
I don't want to jump ahead, but I want to give us time to get to some funny ideas or whatever. But I got to bring this up, and I know it's on your list too, John. The logging task. This is where you can really make or break your virtual.
100%. Yeah.
Oh, you've got some good ones in there. I'll let you go first, then I'll be the not as nice guy.
Yeah. So, I mean, for me, like when I did mine, right, it's like you don't want to have people like armchair it, So, I mean, like I think, I mean, one of those things, like if you're looking at your virtual location and if you're having people go there, for me, like I was using Google Street View and I was like, what can I see? What can I see? On there. So if I'm asking some questions, people actually have to be there to verify and confirm that they were there. So, I mean, I'd encourage people, I mean, use that Google Street View, if it is on a street, look around, see what you can see what you can't see. But, really find some fun ways to do it as well, too, because, on here you have to think like, how can people have fun? To me, like one of the parts I love about virtuals is the pictures that people have,
Yes.
So, I mean, like on my Johnny Cash, I encourage people to post a picture of themselves, their personal item. I say I give bonus points if it's something fun, I'll tell people what bonus points are redeemable, like in the future, I guess, on that one. But, just encourage people to have fun because I think like on virtuals, I mean, to me, it has to be something where it's not your typical run of the mill cache. It has to be something where it's an experience. So how do you do that? And how do you confirm that somebody was actually there? I think is the biggie on that one. So I know you got some others, but I just wanted to highlight those points.
Well, I think that's, the login requirements at the top of the cache, I think is huge. Earth cache is required or not required. They recommend that now, but I think that's good for virtual too, because if you have to search through it, it makes it harder. And you don't want to get somewhere, like you should clearly lay out, again, the cache page again, but clearly lay out what you got to do. If you get somewhere and you didn't realize, because it's an 8-foot long block of text, that there was also 8 other stages, come on, man. You don't want to do that to people. It's already letting them down. Let them know ahead of time so they're like, that's something I want to do. But and I understand that it's hard. So I'm going to play a little bit of the other side. It's hard to confirm because people can Google so much. And geocachers are good at puzzles and figuring out other ways to do stuff. And we've all done that, and it's fun. It's fun to like I've solved a mystery by accidentally finding a cache and then figured out which mystery it was before. That was fun. It was exciting. I don't do that all the time, but it's fun to do that, right? Yeah. The login requirements should be something tied to the cache, but you got to balance that with don't Google it. So it's hard, right? Like
You do.
you don't want to make something that's like super lame, but at the same, I would 100% recommend having a photo every single time.
Yep.
It makes it where it takes like, because you can pass the answers around, and people do that constantly. We already know people do that to cheat constantly, right? To couch log stuff.
Yep.
But unless you're using Photoshop and stuff, it's harder to fake the photo. It's not impossible, but it's harder to fake the photo than whatever. Now, I would do that on every single virtual, and I try to do that on every single Earth cache. If I had any other virtual type thing, I would do that as well. But you can't require anybody to have their face in it. I got that or whatever. But I've seen people say, like, you got to hold up, if your face is not going to manage, you got to hold up a sign with your caching name on it or something. Anybody can do that and write that. Doesn't give any privacy away or whatever. So, but I don't know. It's kind of disappointing when you get to like this crazy history thing and they're like, how many bolts are on the stop sign across the street?
Yeah.
Like, dude, stop. That's, man. I mean, like, you got to try to find something you can verify, but I get it. I go back and forth on that because I get it. Because, like, you can Google so much stuff now, but there's a lot of things that you can't. We found a virtual in this last week, and it was at a very famous place. So there's no signs that aren't publicly available, right? But what they did, there was a sign that's a utility type sign right behind the sign that you can't see on Google View or anything else. And it said, give me the phrase off of the back of that sign. It's right behind the informational sign. So not really related, but also had to protect a very famous place that it was at. Yeah. So you have to be standing there like in the thing to see it or whatever. So that's not too bad, you know, and they give you exactly what you're looking for and say, just a confirmation, let's have this. But that is the hard thing. But you get to this great one sometimes and they're like, you know, okay, that's good. Go in the back of the building and count the utility poles. Then it's kind of just anticlimactic. I don't know. I don't know how to do that, but find a good way to do it that is tied in. That's not, because you know people can Google or share answers. Yeah, absolutely. It's hard to share photos when it has to be you. So I would lean more on that than, because as soon as one person finds it, anybody in the world could know about it after that, right? But and I like some of them where they say this is the required information, but what do you think about this? Yeah. So it gives you a little room for speculation and, you know, did you know about this ahead of time? There's real no right or wrong answer, but it gets them to think a little bit. And I know I enjoy those.
Yeah, you want that's the line. Could make it something that interacts, I guess, with the person to a point where they have to really think about the situation of whatever happened at that spot. Yes. And like you said, you want people to come away from the virtual with something, either historical knowledge or whatever it happens to be. You want there to be something memorable that they come away from that virtual, from educational, entertainment, trivia information. I don't know. So something that they'll remember. I mean, the three of us probably can go back in our brains right now and go, well, what virtual do you remember? You know? Yeah.
Well, that's.
Yeah, and I gotta put out one because it. And I was just looking at the cache page because I was like, I don't want to ruin this, but I mean, it's one talking about a unique experience, where TWH Ryder gave one, TS's Legacy. And it was a young man who, you know, went to the Civil War, and he left something behind at a location at his farm. And then she asked you to go there and find that's still there. And just to think somebody left it there, you know, when they went to the Civil War, and unfortunately they didn't come back. Right. So it was still in that spot, and I don't think it's a spoiler, but it's absorbed into the tree, and you can still see it.
That's
but
wild.
I mean, like,
so that's awesome.
Reading that story and going there, like that is one of my top 5 favorite virtuals. Right. Because like when you read it and you're trying to process it, and then you go there and you see it, and you're just like, oh my God. And then like just that connection with history, incredible.
Well, it's interactive, which is great, right? It's not just read a sign; it's interactive. You're finding something which you normally, you know, it's not always like that with the virtual. I think those are those are great. And I've talked about one of mine that was the interactivity, and we'll talk about what you think about this too. But I've already talked about this, and so it's not a spoiler. I'm not going to give the GC number right now.
Good.
We're just keeping general. But so there's a famous beach where you can get on the beach, and it's right by the airport, and the planes land right over your head.
Oh yeah.
So this virtual, the goal of it or picture is to get time it to where the plane is landing right behind you. And it's big. You're right under the plane. It's a very famous beach. It's got a virtual there. It's one of my favorite virtuals I've ever done because you had to like time it and figure it out. Now, it's not hard to figure out. It's posted and everything else, but it's not just stand in front of the picture or sign or whatever, take your own, a selfie or whatever. It's literally you're getting the huge plane. So it's an epic photo from the very beginning. So I know the guy that owns that has got to love the photos he gets every single day.
Oh, yeah.
Those are awesome. So segueing from that, what do you think about, and I know people are going to say you can't have their face or whatever, but we're talking about fun stuff here. What do you think about having them do something interactive for their photo or do something for the photo rather than just stand there and take a selfie like that plane one, right? What do you think about that? Because I think you can really set that up to be a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I think any fun elements you can add to it and do something unique. I mean, like I enjoy, not just virtuals. I know we're talking about virtuals tonight, but I mean, like, if it's like Earth Cache photo, if it's like virtual photo, like any photo people share on their cache page where they're doing something unique and different. I mean, to me, just adds like such an amazing element to it. And especially when you don't even live close to one of those caches with those amazing photos and that amazing experience, and you go to look it up, like to me, that gets my excitement factor like really, really up there.
Yes,
absolutely. It's like to find those types of caches.
And you can make it where they answer a question just for, like, again, like you said, Jesse, for fun. Like, do you agree that, this location, whatever, and you can have them do a thumbs up or a thumbs down, like, or how many buildings do you think were here? Put up like a one or two, or put up two or three.
Yeah.
Get them to kind of, like you said, be like interact with them.
Well, that verifies that they were actually there in their photo too, right? Like something that nobody would previously have, because if you do it at a famous place, somebody may already have a photo there.
True.
So, having somebody do something different, like, wasn't there one, I think Zach did it. I know we're going way back now, right? This is years ago. But wasn't there a cache, and it may not have been a virtual, where they had to do I think it was called a foon, where you do the weird pose or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Is that a virtual? I don't remember, but like having people pose like that's fun, If you're not doing anything embarrassing or whatever, and obviously there's always a way to opt out from it, have an alternative for people or whatever, but they should be fun, and that's going to be memorable to people, right? Like, I know we're going to get into specifics too, but like, that seems fun. I don't know what all the reviewers will let go. That's not our problem. Our problem is going with fun ideas, right? So,
and I love Quincy. He brought up a fun idea for a photo. He said he had to balance a level provided in the cache on your head and take a photo for one of the caches that he logged. That's kind of cool. I really like that.
That is cool. That's fun.
But got to do something a little bit different, I think.
So I'm going to throw out an idea, and y'all tell me if you think a reviewer would approve it or not. Okay. So in a Florida take on that airplane thing, we have the SpaceX launches down here a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're told ahead of time exactly when it's going to be, down to the minute. You know exactly when it's going to be. Now, it could get rained out, but they're also pretty frequent. Do you think they would approve that version of it, where you have to get – there's a clear, safe place to go watch these and let the public do it. They don't cost any money or whatever. And you're trying to get the rocket in the sky behind you. Do you think that would be approved?
Cool.
First of all, would it be awesome? Yes. And two, would it be approved?
Right.
What do you think?
Oh, man.
That's a good question. You don't have to pay to observe, right?
So, no, free, totally free. And it's not like if you're there at the right time, it's a rocket in the sky, right? You're not, it's not like an eagle flying by. It's huge.
What's the difficulty you're putting on this, Jesse?
Well, one, I don't have a virtual.
Well, I mean,
I would raise the difficulty on it because of the scarcity, right? Like, I think you can't do it all the time. Yeah. So I think the scarcity would be, it would be hard for it would be a hard. I think you could put it pretty high for difficulty. Terrain would be a 1 because you could drive to it. You could stay in your car.
Yeah, wheelchair accessible.
Yeah, you would have to time the visit, but I mean, you can have caches that are only nighttime caches, so why not?
Yeah, I mean, this sounds like a very interesting 4-1 maybe on here.
Yeah,
right. Difficulty for terrain 1.
I could do that. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, it's worth a shot, right? I think that'd be. I don't have one. It's just an idea that I thought would be pretty epic if you got to get a space rocket in your virtual photo.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, and for me, it's like if it's high difficulty, it doesn't mean it can get done every day, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Real quick note, Dave says probably not because you have time to visit. Actually, I have a cache that you have to do the cache before noon. You can do it any day, but you got to do it before
that's any
noon
day. Yeah.
because it requires you to pull the sundial out, put the gnomon in the middle of it, and then read what it says. And they gave me a little bit of problems with it early on because they're like, well, what if it's summer and it's not winter? It's like, well, the way it's designed, even though obviously this, we get different sun location, spots, it's large enough, the area is large enough that it'll work wherever. So I don't think that the fact, and I think there are other caches too where that uses the sun for so there are several things that have timing that are
like sundial. Yeah, you can't do those if it's cloudy. On days that it's cloudy, overcast, night, you couldn't do those. But I like the sundial thing. And what if you did the sundial? So one of the ideas I had too was a sundial, but you have to have some kind of timing device, which I don't even want to hear anybody go, well, I don't have a clock or a watch. Shut up. You got a phone. All right. But checking how accurate that is based on your watch and have that in the picture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there you go. There's one that Bell on the Move is bringing up that it's only available.
Boom. There you go.
Yeah.
Walt Disney Railroad virtual in California that is only available once a month, 12 days of the year. It's only open.
Okay. That proves a point right there.
Now, I don't know how old that virtual is, but your sundial thing I think would work. And you could add elements to it like checking the time against the sundial. That's an activity that you could do on scene, but you can't do it if there's no sun, right? Now, people would complain about that or whatever. I couldn't do it. It rained my whole trip. Okay, I couldn't scuba the whole week either. And I can't scuba next week either. So I can't get that cache. I think we got to get over the fact that not everybody can get every cache. You got to have some element of fun, right? But
yeah, I mean, that's the difficulty. The difficulty says not everybody can get that cache. I mean, and the terrain can indicate that not everybody can get that cache.
Yeah, that's the key too. That's something I'm not going to brag on this cacher, but it's like they say should clarify the day or not is fine, but unless it has at least a daily chance, it's a pain for tourists. Well, that's true, but I think what's happening is that we need to, how to put this, not every cache needs to be handed to you on a silver platter.
Yeah.
There should be caches that are out there that are like, I didn't get to do that cache because it was just too hard based on the information.
Right.
Based on the situation.
And not discounting the fact that you don't want to do something that's intentionally hard for people to do because they're tourists, right?
Right.
Although there is a tourist-friendly attribute, not everything is. Like I've gone through many times and tried to stop somewhere and the museum was closed so you couldn't do the cache, or the building was closed so you couldn't do it. There was some this week in Aruba and Curacao that I could not get into because that building was not open to the public that day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you don't want to make it impossible, but we still want to be creative with it, right? And maybe have an alternative if that's not available, something else or whatever.
That's a good idea.
But you do want to add some creativity to stay away from that. And again, as we always say, cache however you want, but not every cache is for you. Yeah. It's just not. There's certain caches that I'll never be able to get, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like, though, a point or like the spirit of something that was brought up, though. It's kind of like, and you brought up attributes. It's like, and everybody who's listened to the show a long time knows I love attributes. I'm a big advocate for putting as many attributes that are accurate on a cache as you can. So I mean, definitely giving people heads up through the attributes and descriptions if for some reason a cache may have limited availability.
I agree.
And
we
again,
need people. That's really for a whole show. Sorry, Jesse. We need a whole. We all need a whole show that because people don't accurately give, or they quit. They do like 2 attributes. It's like, no, you could do you know what I mean? You want to make sure that you put, and again, you don't want to just put random attributes, but you want to do ones that are very important because people skip that, and they need to not skip that.
Yeah, and I think, and I mean, shout out to Tony. Yeah, pizza parlor nearby. Yeah, pizza drive-through nearby. Those should be new attributes. And I just got to say, guys, if you look at Instagram and see who liked that pizza drive-through nearby, Mr. Brian Roth liked that one. So who knows? Maybe we can see that geocache.
Maybe it's a brand new one.
Yeah, just saying.
All right, let me throw another one out for you, and you tell me publishable, fun, sucky, whatever. Now, these are loose ideas, and not to argue anybody's point or whatever, right? Like, we're just throwing out some ideas here. Some of them may not even work in real life, but I like the interactivity. So one of them, I think it was Christy's idea. We were kind of brainstorming at home. We had a 5-hour drive for normal people, 7 or 8 hours for geocachers today, trying to get home, right? But which we stopped at Alligator Alley, which if anybody knows anything about Florida, there was an earth cache there, and there was a couple labs there. There was no virtual there. I don't know how there wasn't. That place is awesome. So I don't even, if you have a virtual, just go look it up, and you'll see all the reasons why you should have a virtual there. So her idea was having people interact. So like, let's say you're doing one at the Golden Gate Bridge. Well, just standing there and doing that, instead of doing that, do that. You've seen those perspectives where people are like pushing the Leaning Tower of Pisa and stuff.
Yeah.
You've seen those pictures, or holding something like, this is the Golden Gate Bridge. I'm holding up between my fingers or whatever for the picture.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? I think that kind of interactivity is fun for the pictures. It makes great pictures, in my opinion.
I do too.
Absolutely.
I think that you definitely want that.
So some people have seen Alligator Alley.
Yeah. Alligator was awesome. Yeah.
Do you think that would be publishable? Because you don't have to have your face in there to do that. Now, if you do, it's cool, right? Like you're pushing the thing or whatever. But I don't see any reason why that wouldn't be publishable. You're having people manipulate something for the photo, but I mean, you don't have to have your if you're embarrassed or a spy or something. You can't have your witness protection or something. You can't. But
witness protection.
Well, that seems like it would make it a lot more fun, though. Add a little bit of extra element like that to wherever you're going to do yours.
Well, and it helps to make sure people just don't like vacation. Like, oh, I took a vacation photo from 20 years ago and then just like plopped it in there. I was there. The cache wasn't there yet, but I was.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah. That just add a little bit extra to it. I think that's fun.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
All right, we're starting to get toward the end of the show. Just to let people know, we're kind of getting to that point, but we got some more to talk about before we're wrapped up. So, where are we going next? What's the next one?
What do you think, John?
Oh man, I think Jesse, you got some good ideas. I think you got to put them out there, man. I think you got to put out some more of these.
All right. So, we talked about So in some area, like we saw this weekend or this last week, there's a ferry that moves around in Curacao. It doesn't go very far, and it doesn't go out to the ocean, right? It takes people across this. So in Curacao, to keep this short enough that we got to the end of the show, the city is there's a historic thing you can look up. There's a famous bridge and everything else, but the city is divided by a waterway. Okay. So they literally had to build a bridge. It was a huge thing back in the day, but there's a ferry that goes around and takes people around, right?
Right.
But the virtual could be capturing that ferry, but your picture is going to be different all the time because it's not always in the same location. Oh. It's always going to be the same general region,
right?
But not always in the same location. So that could be kind of fun. Like, where did you capture this? And there's other things of this example too. We can mention many of these, right? But
Right.
I think that could be kind of fun if you have a limited scope of where this is going to be, because it can't disappear.
Sure.
It's a big boat, right? Like it can't disappear.
Yeah.
But where do you catch it on the day? Do you think you could have something where it's like maybe you give them 5 locations, you try to catch it in one of these 5 locations, and that's what you're trying to do. So you're adding a different level to it. Now, if you stayed long enough, you would catch it anywhere, right? But you're trying to catch it so tourists can still do it.
Right.
We want, we do want to make it available to everybody. It's there all the time. It doesn't go anywhere, but it may be in a different location each time. What do you think about something like that?
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I like it too. I mean, as long as it's ranked like appropriately difficulty, for that one. I mean, and I think it was. Let me bring up Tamara's comment on here. Oh no, not Tamara's. T Smola. He says, "Thanks for the idea, guys. No idea what I'm doing with mine yet, but I don't want an average virtual. I'm doing my research because I want to use a rare DT combo." And I mean, I think like your idea, Jesse, and I mean this comment on here too. I love the idea of those rare DT combos, because I mean, let's face it. I mean, some people want to loop their DT just based upon like a cache type. So if somebody's trying to do that with like virtuals, where do you find those? But I love those ideas.
Yeah. So there's the other idea. Now, obviously, we don't even have to mention it, but we want caches to be available to everybody. We want awesome caches available to everybody. Not every cache can be available to everybody, right? Like, I passed up on a virtual this last week because you had to scuba to it. It was awesome looking. There was a statue that's underwater, deep down under the water, that like had been submerged. I would love to do that, but I am not going to scuba. It's just not going to happen. I don't want to. I'm not. I mean, I want to a lot, but I'm not going to. It's not going to happen. But what do you think about something? And I'm going to use a generic example here, kind of a little bit, but you'll get the idea of what I'm talking about. This is more of a one that would not be a terrain one, like and I think there is actually a virtual here, but it's a little different. The famous Rocky statue where he's up, goes up the steps or whatever.
Absolutely.
Having somebody go to like the 18th step out of 50 and take a photo there. Now that takes a little bit of physical fitness to do something like that, climb steps or whatever. But or finding a particular step. So you have to go up and down the steps to find a particular step or whatever. Like in Denver, there's one at 52 at a mile high. There's the purple step. Having somebody interact like that or go up, it takes a little physical stamina. But I think you can add something fun to it. You're not just taking a picture in front of something that you walked up to. And again, I know it'll limit from some people. So maybe have an alternative. But I think that would add a really cool element. Like,
absolutely,
what step are you on? That number equals something else. There's something that you interact with. I think those could be kind of fun like that, where you physically do something on the spot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably.
I
mean, you have 5 terrain stuff, so you should be able to do some kind of element. I understand it's a virtual, and they're usually not higher terrains. They can be, just like the rare ones or whatever. But I think that could be fun. Think about those elements. Like, it could be, some spot in a kayak. It could be, it could be something like that where you have to physically move and go and do something. There's a lot of elements you could do with something to add that up. And I don't think that's completely alienating, because there's a lot of caches that people are not, you can't get everything, right?
Right.
What do you think about adding that kind of physical element to it?
I like adding that, because I think, I mean, like that, I mean, to me, so many caches you do, and again, we like kind of like hammered on unique earlier, like rare, but I mean, like on that experience and just thinking, like, if you're doing something like incredibly unique like that, I mean, like that, I mean, that would be fun just for a person, but I mean, like getting a group together to do something like that too. Yeah. That could be like that type of cache. Like, that is the only cache you find that day or that weekend, and you had an awesome time caching because of an experience like that.
Speaking of,
you kind of mentioned something. Sorry, Gary, go ahead.
Real quick, just real fast. I don't know. I haven't thought about this far enough, but you're talking about a group. What if your virtual, you're going to require 2 people to put their hands together and stand over something? Or, I mean,
I was just going to ask the same thing, the exact same thing. As soon as John said that, I was going to say the same thing. I love it. Can you do that? Sorry. Can you require like the teamwork attribute on a virtual? Can you require that where 2 people have to be holding up their cacher names or whatever in the photo?
I'll tell you, a teamwork virtual would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I think so.
I got to think there's some out there.
There's a large chain out there, and everybody has to lift it and hold it together, kind of.
Yeah, something that or
Something
everybody has
like
to have their hand on a statue, even, right? Like you have to have 3 cachers with their hands on the statue.
Yeah,
that would be fun and funny.
Okay, guys, and here's the data. The results are in. There's 228 virtuals with the teamwork attribute out there.
Oh my gosh! Oh, yeah. I want to go find those. Then that sounds awesome.
And I appreciate people bring this up because, again, okay, I like attributes. I'm geeky. Okay, I confess, but like on that one, I mean, just again, thinking about the rare factors. So it's like DT could be rare. The attributes, could also be rare, on your virtual on there. So I mean, there's
I
just
love that idea.
So many.
That's so many ideas now. What about all the other attributes? Combine if you've got a virtual right now, look at the attributes that are out there and see what you could do to combine that. Check the rarity. Like there's one of the attributes is off-road vehicle. How many virtuals have off-road vehicle on them? How many virtuals have abandoned mine? Check some of those things and inspire yourself with that. Like, there's a lot of things I guarantee you can come up with. You can find, if you manipulate that a little bit, you can find something that's very rare in your state. Then see if that sparks an idea for you.
Yeah. Well, and here's an example of the teamwork one, and I'm just reading the cache description of one. It says, to log this virtual, simply stand under the bar and reach up as if to grab it with both hands. You will need someone to take your photo as both of your hands must be in the air reaching up. Either face the camera or face away from it, your choice. So
I like that. That's fun though. And people are going to remember that, right? Like
absolutely.
What about the one? Oh, okay. We're going to go long if we keep doing this, but when you go, I saw one of these this week and I didn't even think about it being a virtual, but very frequently at like famous historical locations. Yeah, one that may have a brand new Earth cache in Curacao. But anyway, in famous locations, they have those pictures where it's got the cutout of the face.
Yeah,
like of the father and the son, or the husband and the wife, or whatever. Could that be your virtual with the monument in the background? And like you have to have both faces filled.
Both faces in there, because
they always have like silly pictures or whatever, like it's a frog and a dog or whatever.
Yeah,
that could be kind of fun. It's silly, but I don't know. That could be kind of fun too, though. Because you see those in a lot of different places, like at Famous. It's just fun to be able to take their picture there with the stuff in the background. I wonder if you could do that. I don't know. I really don't.
Interesting. You could do. I'm looking at all the attributes too, and there's some crazy stuff you could do. I mean,
we're gonna have to dive into that. Well, yeah. How many night virtuals are there?
Well, there's 92 that do require flashlights on there. But yeah, night cache. Let's look this up. Okay, so night caches that are virtual.
While you're looking that up, do you think they would allow it if it's only available at night?
60.
I think there's some out there, if I remember right.
60 night cache virtuals that are out there
in the whole world.
Yeah, but here's the thing too, guys. And I mean, like, I hate to say this, but being perfectly honest, that truthful? That they're on there.
Yeah, I follow you.
Truthful, yeah. And somebody just brought up wireless beacons. You could do that. Definitely could do that.
Okay, there is zero virtuals with wireless beacons.
You could definitely do that. Like it could be like the radio station thing, or
the first one.
Here's the thing though, right? Because if you're placing a wireless beacon there, you're placing something physically there.
Not if you're not. So what if you're broadcasting a radio station thing like people do? There's nothing physical that you're touching. That could come out of your house. It could come out of anywhere. You could have the only one in the world, the only wireless beacon virtual in the world. That's got to be rare. I mean, that's got to be. Obviously, it's rare. That's got to be.
I got to put this out too. Okay, maybe on here because if thinking about UV light. There's actually 9 virtuals out there with the UV light attribute.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Huh. Yeah. Wonder what their requirement. Well, I mean,
we're going to dig
up with the.
Yeah, people need to dig into these because this is how you can get inspired to make your virtual exciting, and unique.
Memorable.
What if this is the only virtual you ever get?
Yeah.
Make it awesome.
Yeah.
And you don't get to republish this, right? You don't get to change a bunch of crap. You should definitely make this. Hopefully, this sparks some ideas for people, because there's already some ideas I want to go look for, and I don't have a virtual.
Yep.
Yeah.
It sounds like a challenge cache needs to be out there
What
too.
we're suggesting-
Yeah.
Oh,
A challenge cache for some of these rare combinations.
Absolutely. I mean, that would be awesome. Well, and that's the thing, right? I mean, you just start talking about this, you start digging in, it gets your mind going. And I mean, again, going back to unique factor, I think we all as geocachers love that unique factor or that rare factor, when looking for a cache.
Can you do alternate? Okay, that didn't come out right. Can you do alternate logging requirements? So not like, let's say you do one of these ones like at the rocket. Well, if that's not available, there's a second way to log this thing.
Oh,
Can you
right.
do? Is that allowed?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Somebody says challenges can no longer be based on combinations. They can be based on one attribute at a time. They can't be based on a combination of attributes. But you could do a virtual with one attribute, and that should work.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, they're right. They're absolutely right. You can't do like John had a whole series of ones he wanted to do, and
I know.
they got totally flushed down the toilet.
Man, my heart was broken. I had like caches, like containers lined up, like locations, like written, and then like no joke, it was just like a few weeks. Then HQ changed that, and I get it. I get what they're saying. It was just a heartbreaker because I was lining up multi-attribute caches, for challenge caches. But I get it. I get the change.
All right, let's go.
I get it.
Let's go through the stars. Let's do the stars.
Go through the stars.
Go ahead,
Okay.
John.
Let's do the first one. First one is from Nels Bloody Cool. He said he got an FTF on his trip and the mystery.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool. It's so fun to get an FTF when you're traveling.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah. And Bell on the Move says there's a place in Tahoe called Chickadee Ridge. You hold birdseed, or you're guaranteed to have wild birds land on your hand. Great interactive virtual and experience. Yeah, that's really cool.
A great one.
See, that would be, and that how cool is that? You're gonna remember that.
Yeah, Andrew remembered it. Yeah, definitely. Okay.
Yeah. Birkenstock Report said, what's the best virtual you guys have ever seen? And I mentioned the one from TWH Radar because, I mean, for that one, I just love so many different factors on that one. I don't know if you guys have any best virtuals you want to share.
I've got one that Christy shared ahead of time because I've shared most of my favorite ones on shows before, so I don't want to repeat those or whatever. But one that Christy found that she really liked it was based on history, of course, because she's a history nut. And it was a multi-stage virtual, but it was places that Paul Revere had been.
Oh, wow.
And it told the story, but you got to go to the current place where these historical figures had been, and it told a story along the way. It wasn't hard. You could get to all of them, but it was like, you know the stories, but this is where they stood right there. And then, so it told the story in like 3 different stages or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. Like, you're going to remember that. Mine have been like really neat. Like that plane was one of them. Really neat locations. Like there was a burnout church that we talked about in South Carolina that you never would have known about. And then the whole history was told and everything else. Those to me are the really amazing ones. The ones that are at like, and I'm going to get some hate for this, but anyway, I'm going to say it anyway. The ones that are at like Mount Rushmore, that's awesome, but I would have gone there anyway. So, you know what I mean? Like I didn't go there for a virtual. I went there for Mount Rushmore. So it's cool that there's a virtual there, but you're not really drawing people to Mount Rushmore with a virtual. That's already there.
Yeah.
Again, don't get me wrong. I'm very happy that one was there and I got to do it while I was there. But to me, if you're doing something so famous, you got to add a different element into it. Or it's just like challenges that you've already completed and you go after, that's just a traditional. That's not anything. But challenges that you sign and work towards is a challenge. But like a virtual that's just like, take your picture here. Well, it's Mount Rushmore. I was going to do that anyway. Of course. So I think if you're going to do that, you're risking a little bit. You're going to get a lot of favorites because a lot of people are going to find it. But if you want to be real cool, add something different. Like, hold your hand up to where you're picking George Washington's nose or something. Something fun or, something cool and fun to go with it.
Jim brings up a great one. He says, even with my background, it could be interactive, like, the muffler man, like shoving the hot dog into my ear or something, I mean, like, yeah, you're right. Yeah. You're right.
That's a very good one. I like that. No, that's exactly right. That's exactly what we're talking about. The interactivity and the fun factor, make it fun, like have it exciting that you get to talk about it later.
Yeah. Another one that's exactly like Jesse's saying is the one in Key West that you just stand there, take a picture of it. And okay. Yeah. I was going to go to the end of I was going to go to the most southern point anyway. So I don't know if those are ones that, they don't really bring it up.
Like an extra level could have been added to that with like do something a little different or whatever. Now that's a cool location because of where it is, but that's about it. It's harder to get to sometimes. It's hard to get there, but like you said, if you did something a little funnier to go along with it, because there's iguanas everywhere. I mean, it's kind of crazy things you could do while you're there, right? Yeah. So just up your level. You see what's out there, up your level a bit. Think about the different elements and up it a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and here's one, Jesse, coming back to a comment you kind of made earlier on making great cache write-ups. And Scamp Cacher says they published a cache and created an incredible story for it. So that's awesome. But they said when they copy and paste it into the cache page, it took out the formatting.
Yeah, and it'll do that. And here's what I'll tell you, too. And the markup that they have is not full HTML. There's no CSS to go with it or whatever. If you're even using that, if you're just using the the visual editor or whatever, you really have to go in there and tweak it and manipulate it because it can wipe out all your formatting. So you really have to kind of tweak and pay attention to that. Or that's one of the most popular educational events we had a long time ago was getting together as a group and working on how to up your cache page. Because not everybody is tech savvy, and even if you are, it's not full HTML. So even if you're really tech savvy, it can mess you up. So you have to kind of play around with it to try to get it good. Because I've done that same thing, and it's so frustrating. Yep. Like I've even built some code for it one time, and then I find out, oops, that one thing wasn't allowed. And I have to go rebuild everything else. So it can be very frustrating.
Yep.
Yeah.
Keep going, John.
And Quincy Cryptid said, could you do a virtual if something like the Rose Parade only happens once a year but is free to attend? Capture yourself watching the parade in person. I don't know, guys. I mean, this kind of comes back to almost like the Disney example that somebody brought up with the train, right? Where it only happens like 12 times a year or something, or 12 days.
Yeah, I love it, but there's no way they're going to publish it.
No.
Like even the SpaceX things that happens like once a week, or how often they happen, or whatever. We all talked about how that probably wouldn't get passed or whatever.
Right.
There's no way they're going to do the once a year thing. There's just no way.
Yeah, but I would say though, I mean, these are questions people could ask their reviewers too, though, right? If they had questions, they could reach out and saying, "Hey, I have an idea."
Yeah, always.
What do you think?
Can you do something that's a take off of that? So don't just give up on an idea. Do something that's a take off of that. Yeah. Maybe you have to go to points along the Rose Parade. There's a lot of things I think you could do to make it still pretty cool.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And Renee Trail Snail 51 said highest elevation markers that you have to hike to.
Yep.
There's
some of those in Colorado. There's there was benchmarks, at the top of some of those mountains. And I think you absolutely could do that, like a benchmark at the top of a 14 or whatever. You could do a virtual up there 100%. I think they'd publish that right now.
Yeah. And I love the nod to benchmarks. I mean, since those are a lesser part of geocaching than they used to be in the past.
Yeah,
I just love that.
They are dead.
I know.
I'm sad about it too, but you could use your virtual for some awesome benchmark though.
Awesome.
That's verification that you were there 100%.
Yeah. Killer B shared the great news. He said, "Hey guys, I got a virtual for the
congrats.
That is awesome.
Good job.
That is awesome. Congratulations, Killer B."
No pressure, but make it awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we got Larry Gunn, G9X, who said, Wholesome, the YouTuber, just discovered Cache Odyssey, California. So when he was in town, he filmed many of his geocache hides. So congratulations.
That's awesome.
Larry.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yep.
That is very
I've
cool.
seen that reel, so appreciate that. That's Larry Guns, Larry the Pool Guy. He owns the Cache Odyssey. He's part of the team and owns the Cache Odyssey California, which
That's
is
awesome.
an amazing cache, by the way.
Yep. And DAS 929 Dave says, can you take a picture of the SpaceX launch pad? Bonus
See,
points
I
if there's a
think that's
rocket
cool.
launching.
So, okay, what if you did this? Here's the idea. So now you take it, just like they said with the rose parade, there's a way to alter this. So let's say they allowed it. The goal is to get the launch pad, right? But for anybody that actually gets a rocket, you take that picture and put it on the cache page. They're like the Hall of Fame for that virtual.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that would work.
Really
cool. That would work. I think that would be very cool. Like and put their name on it and everything. That'd be awesome. But you still get the point across of what you're doing, right? And you show that they're there, and you show that because it's still a cool area. Oh man, I love that. Okay, somebody donate the virtual to me, or if you need me to scout for you and you've got one, I'll scout for you down there. We'll get it set up for you.
I'm gonna throw another one out because,
go for it.
I've got another one that will create a whole other. This
no. Okay, I love it.
You guys are going to be like, we got to keep going and talking about this. Like, no, we're done for tonight. How about this? What if you combined the idea of the virtual with a webcam? Because you can't do webcams anymore, but you can do virtuals. So what if you were to create a situation where it's a virtual, but yet you need to kind of have the webcam factor involved?
I don't know how you do it, but that would be popular. People would like that.
You know, this almost sounds like somebody did this or was thinking about this. I remember this came up a while back.
I've seen it as optional before. I've never seen it as a requirement.
No, but if you added it as a possibility, wouldn't that up your virtual cred?
Could you do one where, and I don't even know if this is even possible. So we'll use like Yuma as an example.
Right.
You're right there on the border. Could you do one where the finder has to be standing on the Mexico side of the border, but the photographer has to be standing on the American side of the border?
That would be cool. In
any country. You got to be standing on the other side of like a divided line, not like an imaginary line, but a literal divided line where you're in two different countries at the same, the two people doing it.
Yep.
I don't know if they'd let it happen, but oh man, that'd be pretty cool.
Sometimes the only way to find out is to try.
Yep.
Could you do the first virtual stage in North Korea? No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that. Please don't do that. You'll die. Don't do that. I was joking. Oh my God. The whole point is be creative. Don't do Walmart seat number 4. You really need to do something cool because, again, not to pick on Wholesome, he's got some awesome stuff, right? But people are going to see that. Do you want people to, if this is the one thing that you're known for, do you want people to be, do you want to be proud of this? Or do you want to be like, I can't even remember what that virtual was that I did last week. Do you want this to be one of the best caches you have if you're lucky enough to even have one of these?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Don't make it a Waymark. Don't make it a multi-cache.
No.
Make it cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Could you make it a couch logger where you literally had to sit on a couch? Not in your house, but like somewhere else.
Well, I think what you're saying, Jesse, is like, and how funny would this be, right? You find a statue somewhere of like a couch, like a stone couch, with somebody sitting on a stone couch, and you call it the couch logger virtual,
See, I would love that. That would be awesome. That's got to be out there already. That's got to be out there.
Got to be there.
And with that,
okay,
we're segue to the end. John, what's coming up?
So guys, we got Gadget Talk coming up on Tuesday, and it's going to be a really cool show, right? Chad and I, we had Mike Two Taps join us, Mike, aka Amateur Gadget Cache, this last show, and we talked about how to 3D print, and kind of covering some basic elements for people getting into it. So then, the idea came up, well, okay, that's cool. How about we talk about how to design 3D prints? Ooh. So we got Mike back on the show. We got Just Ducking Around, who's coming on the show too with Chad and I on Tuesday. So awesome. It's Tuesday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to cover like a few different like options out there too. So including like Tinkercad, which Chad uses, Fusion 360 that Mike uses, and then SolidWorks that Just Ducking Around uses.
Right.
So it's going to be a really cool show to kind of get people's juices flowing and to understand how to design, 3D printed caches. So it's going to be awesome.
Excellent.
Wait,
Awesome.
one more. I know we got to end, but
go for it.
BFMC Geocachers just posted that they have a virtual that has a logging requirement that is only available for a couple months of the year. It's a large floating Christmas tree, but there's an alternative logging method. So that proves you can do it. That proves you can do something and be creative with something. No matter how wild your idea is, there's probably a way to figure it out. That is awesome. Thank you for doing that, because
perfect.
Get out there, be creative, find that impossible idea, and then find a way to make it happen.
Absolutely. There you go.
I love it.
Well, that's it. That's a good way to segue out. Good night.
Okay. Have a good night, guys.
Everybody.
I'll stop talking.